that player in the post is seen as the goalkeeper. So once a goalkeeper, you are out beyond the goalkeeper, it's out, and there's a player in the post, that player is taken to be a goalkeeper for the team. And we have two players, we have two players in front of him, so it's an offside. But one of the things I want to point out, this AFCON has been great because of the officiating. We must commend the officiating of this AFCON. So far, so good. We'll be able to see good calls from the referees, and we're able to see them. I mean, it has been wonderful and great. What makes a tournament interesting is officiating. And so far, so good in the AFCON. I think these officials or our referees have risen up the bar, and we've seen good officiating this time.
Yeah, but there are some comments from defending champions who have been sent back and talking about the Teranga Lions of Senegal. They argue that some of the referees have not lived up to expectation. Your take?
Yes, of course. What do you expect? It happens even now. In fact, just like if Nigeria have lost against Cameroon, we will have said that referee was biased, and that's not what it means. But again, for a group like Senegal, it's quite unfortunate. I feel for them because history has not been fair to them. In fact, in the past 5 Nations Cup, we've not seen the winner cross the group stage. In fact, Senegal is one of the first that have gotten to the second round, and we were thinking they were going to break that jinx of getting to the quarterfinal. But if you check the last 5 African Nations Cup, Nigeria in 2013, in 2015 we crashed out. Algeria, the same thing, they didn't come on the group stage. Egypt, Tunisia. So we've seen all the past 5 winners not being able to come out from the group stage after winning the Nation Cup. So for Senegal, I felt, okay, these people were going to bring that. But again, the history wasn't fair to them. They couldn't cross beyond the round of 16.
And the Super Eagles of Nigeria were very instrumental when they stopped Cameroon, who were to make history from what Coach Charles has rightly said. Nigeria defeated Cameroon in that game by 2-1. And one man, John Otaka, got the winning goal for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. They will be up today with a team called Angola. And many are of the point that a win for Angola is like Nigeria is coming home with the African Cup of Nations. Let's lift our group, which will be decided today. Let's go to the group that has Bafana of South Africa. Finally, they made it to this stage. Looking at all the matches, you see, South Africa, of course, will be up against Cape Verde. Cape Verde has made so much points in football of recent.
Yes, again, as I said, this Nation Cup, in fact, all around the world, even in Europe, everybody is watching it because it has proven to be an exciting Nations Cup. Of course, I said this is the first time we are seeing the top 5 ranked team in Africa not being in the knockout stage. Normally, for teams like the big teams, Tunisia, Egypt, Senegal, Nigeria, Cameroon, Ghana, of course, they believe that at every point they're going to get to the next stage or the next round. But we've seen this Nation Cup coming out different. We've seen the minors, no more minors as we said. But we've seen the smaller teams. If you check, you see every team here, I mean, for them, getting to this stage, it's as if they've won the Nation Cup. So we've seen them giving him all their best. But again, when we get to this stage of the tournament, a lot matters. Experience matters. Excitement's coming. Now, playing in this stage in quarterfinal comes with a lot of pressure. Not just play in the field. I mean, you need to know how to play because it's a different ball game entirely. The round of 16 is a different ball game. Quarterfinal is a different ball game entirely. Now, mentally, you have to be ready. You have to be strong. You have to be focused. You don't make mistake. One mistake you make can send you out of this time at this stage. So, clubs like South Africa that have won this cup before, they've been in the quarterfinal in the past. They've been in the finals. I think they know how to handle pressure at this stage. We can see them against one of the best teams in Africa, Morocco, how they were able to play against them, the confidence, the way they were able to come out with them, and we get a win. So for me, I don't think Cape Verde should cause any upset at this stage for the South African team, knowing that from the first match of the tournament, they lost. They lost their first game to Mali, and I think that was able to spur them up. And they know that, look, I mean, we have one of the best leagues in Africa, and we should be able to know how to contain. A lot of these players in Cape Verde play their trades in South Africa, so I think they know them, they know themselves. So I expect South Africa to be able to come out and show that, look, we are the big brothers, we are the senior brothers against these people. We've been here before, we know how it means to be here before. We have the experience being in this stage of the tournament. So Cape Verde is just coming in. For Cape Verde, the celebration they have already is too much. They've been celebrating being in the quarterfinal already. So I hope it doesn't get into their head, and of course, they make one mistake and South Africa wins. But I think it's only going to be an interesting game to watch.
One man is talking. He is the coach of the Super Eagles. The Portuguese tactician, however, has expressed belief that the Super Eagles squad is one of the strongest squad, and he was going to come out in full force against Angola in the ongoing African Cup of Nations. Hear him. Okay, I believe in my team. We believe in our team. Pesero says at the pre-match press conference that was monitored by sportsmen and women. But this match is the quarterfinal. It's our second final. We played the first final before the second final. We want to play the third final and the fourth final. And if you check record, if Nigeria goes ahead to win the remaining 3 matches ahead, then Abuja will welcome the prestigious African Cup of Nations, which was won way back 2013. You think this squad can bring home the cup?
Of course. I mean, if you look at the antecedents from winning, you see that the road has been cleared for the Super Eagles. What cleared the teams that would have given us problem. The Algeria, Tunisia, the Morocco, the Cameroonians, and co, they are off this tournament because these are the teams that traditionally knows how to play the Super Eagles. So for me, I think Super Eagles, this is our opportunity to bring up this cup. I mean, this is the time we need to win this tournament. They've cleared the road for us. All we have is Cote d'Ivoire, which we have defeated before, which I don't think is going to be a problem for us when we meet them again. And I think with this squad, the determination this squad, you see, I told people, I said, to win a match, you need very good attack to win a match. But to win a tournament, you need good defense. And that's what the Super Eagles have shown. To win a tournament, you need a very good defense structure so that you don't let in goals. And that's what the Super Eagles have shown. So for me, we have the capacity. I mean, this team have the depth and capacity to be able to go all the way to win this, to win the Nation Cup for the 4th time. And I expect the Nation Cup to be back in Abuja by next week, on Sunday, 11th of February. By Monday, I expect us to be in Abuja celebrating the Nation Cup, because I know these boys, of course, for them, a lot of them, Osimhen, a lot of these players, this is the last time they need this opportunity. This is a chance they need to prove themselves in the world. I mean, Truth Ekong, nobody's talking about Truth Ekong. I mean, we saw Ekong in the last Nation Cup. I mean, he didn't live up to the expectation. But look at Ekong now playing. He has been solid in the defense. We saw Sheyi. I mean, all these players, they need this Nation Cup to be able to revive their own career individually. And you can see them the way they play. I mean, at times, I didn't believe this is Super Eagle playing when I watched them play. The department we had, the problem was the goalkeeping department, but we were able to solve that now. With Stanley coming into the post, has been able to calm the defense, and that's what we needed. So coming the way we play, I mean, I listened to the 2 coaches are from the same country. The Nigerian coach and the guy are from the same. They are both from the same Portuguese-speaking country. Angola also is a Portuguese-speaking nation. So I think, for me, I think it's not going to be a problem. This one is going to be the most easiest match for the Super Eagles in this tournament.
Hopefully, this will be the most easiest match, as my colleague here in the studio has rightly confirmed. Before we commence this program, he did say Morocco, Senegal, Algeria, and Egypt and Cameroon have been sent packing. The only team standing now in the history of African Cup of Nations is the Super Eagles of Nigeria, who have won the cup at a record of 3 times. Let's go back and find out some of the falling out. What did Ivory Coast did to bounce back into the tournament, having been eliminated or humiliated at home soil 4-0 by Equatorial Guinea, but they find their way back, and today they are in the quarterfinal. What is the spirit behind the Elephants?
Yes, thank you. For me, the Ivory Coast thing, I mean, always it makes me laugh. I mean, it's a typical example of life. In life, you don't give up, and it happens in soccer. Now, this is a team that sacked their coach before the last match, not knowing they were going to even have a chance to get into the next stage. But of course, when I watched Zambia, Morocco, and I saw that the whole Ivorian, both his minister of sport were all wearing the Moroccan jersey, supporting Morocco against Zambia, I knew that these people actually had hope. So when Zambia lost and they skated through, I mean, for them, this is the only chance they had. And they have to prove to their fans, to the country, because everybody wants to host and win. That's why you host the Nation Cup, host and win. So for them, they know that they have to raise up their games. They have to do this. They have to do this not for themselves, but for the people of Ivory Coast, for the world, for their families. They need to sit up. And we saw how they were able to stand up against one of the best teams in Africa. And they were able to, against defending champion, they were able to, get through. Even the last minute, pick a draw, get to the penalty spots, and they won the game. So what shows that keep believing, they believed in themselves. They picked up their pieces together. They knew that, look, we realized that this is war. I'm like a soldier fighting war for my country, and that's what they had in mind. That, look, this is my soil. I can't be defeated. And we saw them coming up with that victory. So for me, it was, this part of making the Nation Cup one of the best I've ever seen. In the history of Africa. So for Ivory Coast, I think they did so well getting there. But doesn't mean that when they meet a Nigerian team, of course, they are going to fall again the way they did even the first round.
Not too good news coming from the camp of the Angola. We are told that goalkeeper Petros Vandama will be on the sideline as his team take on the Super Eagles. Is that a big plus for the Super Eagles going to a game? And the number one coach, number one goalkeeper of Angola will not be in the pool.
Yes, again, for me, I don't think it's even a plus for us because we've seen this tournament where second goalkeeper comes in and they're able to hold their own. We've seen the tournament where a second coach comes in and is taking the team to another level. We've seen it happen. It may not be a plus for the Super Eagles because the goalkeeper coming right now has nothing to lose. He just wants to, play and give his all in the game. But again, as I said earlier, this Angola game is one of the most easiest games the Nigerian Super Eagles is going to play in this AFCON.
Both coaches have been talking tough. The coach of the Super Eagles said his boys will go all out in the game. The one man who is speaking now is the coach of the Angolan side. Angola coach Pedro Calvaz has expressed both respect and optimism while acknowledging Nigerian strengths and individual talent. He emphasized his team preparation and belief in capabilities. First of all, we respect Nigeria for all that they have made till now in African football, but it's going to be a tough match. He made this known at a press conference. Angola is fully aware of the position of Nigeria, but here CAF has brought the two of them face to face. As you rightly said, both coaches have something in common. They have the Portuguese blood that flows in them, but they will be taking on the team that has won the African Cup of Nations a record of 3 times. Super Eagles have a slogan: let's do it again.
Yeah, and I like that, man. And that's what I want to say. We'll do it again.
We'll do it again.
Yes, again, looking at it, they mentioned, the Angola coach mentioned what they call, he mentioned some things I think they have, and he thinks he knows the Super Eagles team very well because he has watched us play, they've seen the team play. But again, you need to know that this Super Eagles team, we have some players that have not played the match in this game. We have a player like Kelechi Iheanacho on the bench, which is one player that every time he comes to the team for Super Eagles, it's going to be a different ball game. So I think we have some players that when we throw, we have Chukwueze that just played a few games and he was on the bench. So the Angolans are going to be shocked. They're going to see a different Super Eagles today. They're going to say, you see, the good thing, this Super Eagles this year, the style of play, Super Eagles they don't exchange word with you. In football, they don't exchange that passing you do. They don't do that with you. They allow you do what you want to do. They wait for you and they pick the ball, they set up the 3 fast men. Set up Osimhen, Moses, and Lookman. So by the time you come in with the ball, you do your work, they wait for you. They pick up the ball, they set you up. So this Super Eagles don't have anything to discuss with anybody on the field of play. They know what they want, they've come for business, and that business is what they are going to achieve.
My guest this morning is Charles Orji. He is a veteran. He is a die-hard part of the Super Eagles. The one man who is talking is the coach of Portuguese. He said he voted Osimhen as African Footballer of the Year, and his vote didn't last. Let's listen to what he said. The respect shown by the Portuguese manager extended specifically players, particularly Victor Osimhen and Ademola Lookman. I voted for one of the players for the best player of the world last year, Victor Osimhen. In fact, it means he casted his vote twice. He voted for him as the player of the world and also voted for him as an African player. And such a player is coming to play. It looks like he knows the results already.
Yeah, thank you. You know, as I said before, Osimhen right now, there are a lot of that. Of course, as the African Footballer of the Year coming to the nation, a lot of experience from him, and we could see that this young lad has practically played his life out for the Eagles. Now he has played his life out for the Eagles because he knows that being the African Footballer of the Year, I can't just go out at the group stage. I need to get my team. I need to get to the last 4. If I need to get to the last 2, and again, this player have shown that he's not just a fluke. We've seen that. We're saying Osimhen. No, he's not a fluke. Show that he's a player that has what it takes. He deserves everything he has won. He deserves everything he has gotten. And I tell you, Clinton, that Osimhen, even the coach to mention Osimhen, that Osimhen he voted for, he will know that his vote was not wasted after this game.
Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll be looking at other matches that will be decided tomorrow. And of course, this weekend is a powerful weekend for stop lovers in Nigeria, Africa, because the best of African players are already at home. And some coaches are likely to be sent packing at the end of this weekend matches. Let's take a break. When we come back, there will be more about sport. And of course, we'll be looking at the Super Eagles squad Hopefully, Baba Femi will be joining us live from the headquarters, the camp of the Super Eagles of Nigeria, to give us how they feel. But the report reaching us indicate that the team will have a feel of the stadium this morning. Both teams are all expected to have what it takes to play on the green in faraway Ivory Coast. We will come back and then perhaps tell you exactly what time it will be, and the streets should be on green, white, green all the way. Talksport right here on Global TV, Nigeria's capital city. We are looking at the Super Eagles of Nigeria, who have a task at hand today to turn over Angola and qualify for the semi-finals of the ongoing African Cup of Nations. It will be the first quarterfinals for the tournament. I'm being joined in the studio this morning by a veteran who has seen it all in sport. I'm talking about Coach Charles, and we are looking at the entire semi-final matches with special focus on the Super Eagles with the slogan, let's do it again. Coach Charles, let me come to you. When we say let's do it again, how close is the Super Eagles? We have about 3 matches to go, and this is almost ₦1 million tax ahead of us.
Yes, thank you, Clinton. You see, first of all, I must also, we must also commend the football administration of this present football administration, that is the Nigerian Football Federation. They've done well.
And the sport minister.
Yes, sport minister, we need to commend them. They've done well for this team. They've shown their support for the Super Eagles. As I'm talking to you, their whole match bonuses for these boys have been paid to them in camp. And the players, of course, these players are not even looking at the money right now. They are looking at making history for themselves. And they know that they are just 90 minutes, in fact, few matches away from making that history for themselves. And again, with the support from Nigerians, because this team, at a point, nobody gave this team a chance. When they played their first game against Equatorial, they played 1-1. Nobody gave them a chance. But from that first game, when they played 1-1, I told people, I said, look, this team is taking the same president of 2013. In 2013, all our agreements, we played goalless draw. First game, we played goalless draw against Sudan. We played goalless draw before we won 2-0 against Equatorial Guinea, and then we moved to the next one, and we kept winning 1-0 until we got the cup. So this team are going the same way if you look at it. Our first game, it was a draw. Second game, they said we managed to win 1-0. But you can see we are getting that way. We are going that way, that same way. So I think every football lover in Nigeria have been able to come through their support behind these boys. And they know, the players, they know, they have the feel. They feel it. They feel that let's do it again. And that slogan was brought about by Ibrahim Guzo, the chairman of Nigeria Football Federation. And the players keyed into it. I mean, the team, it's a compact team. The atmosphere in the team is great. The love, the unity, the sharing. And you see them playing for each other. I mean, I've not seen Eagles play like this in a long time. I'm Clinton. Let's look at it. I've not seen the Super Eagles playing, Osimhen coming to defense, Lookman, everybody playing from defense. They all go out for attack. They come back together. The strikers go Aina, and the first time we're playing from the wings. All our goals are coming from the wings. So I tell you, any team meeting Super Eagles right now, I think they should know. In fact, because right now, once we get our wing play back, I don't think any team stopping us. And which you can see, all our goals, our second goals, almost all the goals, they came from the flanks. Because we are using our flanks very well, and we have good players that understand the flanks, that are good, that they know what to do. I mean, they believe in themselves, and we see the crosses coming in, and we see the game going on. So for me, this Super Eagles, let's do it again. That slogan, we're going to do it again. And I tell you, this is our 4th Nation Cup loading.
Nigeria is in the race, and we need to say a very big thank you. Just like my guest has said, all that has to do with finances of the Super Eagles have been cleared courtesy of the federal government, and the sport-loving president is doing everything possible to show support. On a video chat with members of the Super Eagles, which was conducted by the sport minister John Owen Eno, the players demanded that they would love to see the president watch them play, and Senator John Owen Eno, Minister of Sports, says hopefully the president will be there, and everyone is looking on seeing the president on the 11th of February. That will be the best match, and we hope that our sport-loving president will be in Abidjan to accompany the trophy. Hope Nigeria is the only standing team now as far as the qualifiers and of course winning the African Cup of Nations is concerned. Away from our group, let's come and look at a group that has Guinea. Guinea sent away Equatorial Guinea that demolished and humiliated Ivory Coast in front of thousands of their fans. Guinea is still in the race.
Yes.
Is it a team to toy with?
Of course. Thank you, Clinton. You see, as I said earlier before, I said when you get to the second round, it's a different ball game. We saw Equatorial Guinea in the group stage playing, how well they did, beating the host nation, beating teams, struggling to beat the Nigerian Super Eagles of Nigeria. So for me, I think, as I said earlier, any team that gets to this point right now, I think they've achieved a lot for themselves. What they want to do, they want to go and enjoy their game. And that's what Guinea did against Equatorial Guinea. Seeing themselves in the last 16, they said, hey, we have nothing to lose. There is no shame. If we lose here, we have done well. We came up from the group stage where big teams like Tunisia could not come from the group stage, Ghana couldn't come out. It's something for them to really be to celebrate about. So they came to enjoy themselves. They played the ball the way they enjoyed the game they want to play. And you saw what happened. They defeated Equatorial Guinea. So for me, all these teams, I look at them on the same scale, on the same level of teams trying to minnows coming up in football. So for me, I think at this point, these teams are dangerous. And that's why the Super Eagles themselves knows. And now that the Super Eagles have been playing the way they've been playing, Super Eagles, they don't take anything for granted. If you see the Super Eagles team, in fact, against Cameroon, they didn't have one shot on target. We didn't let them get one shot on target. And that's what the Super Eagles team have been doing. So I think against any other team we play now, we know the Eagles team take every game as if it's a final. So for me, the Equatorial Guinea and Guinea-Bissau playing, I watched them. Of course, I expect the Equatorial Guinea to come through in that game. But the Guinea showed that, look, we also came to enjoy ourselves and anything could happen in the game. So I think that's what I expect. Even the Guinea team, they are good, they are wonderful. But again, they could also meet a team that, they will get carried away at this point in the competition, and then it could be too bad for them.
Let's show some sportsmanship and travel to Ghana. What happened to Ghana? Ghana seems not to have learned the bitter lesson they learned in Cameroon. They were among some of those teams that were sent packing at the group stage, including the Super Eagles. But Super Eagles seem to have put behind their early elimination in Cameroon. Ghana went home again. This is the second time at the group stage. The Black Stars of Ghana.
Yes, it's quite unfortunate, knowing that this team was at the last World Cup that they hosted, and we expected these teams that went to the World Cup to be able to come and show that, look, we went to the World Cup. Just like you in Nigeria, by the time you go to Europe and train as a coach, when you come back, you need to show that, look, I'm coming from a country whereby this soccer we know. Let's see. So they went to the World Cup and they came back, after playing against the big team, not showing that. So for me, Ghana team, I think they need to go back and rebuild. It's just, in fact, Nigeria had some, so they need to go back and start building again. A lot of their players are actually past their prime. The Ayew brothers and co, they're actually going past their prime. So for me, I think Ghana need to go back and start rebuilding their team and start the same process again. Ghana stopped us from going to the World Cup here in Abuja. We all saw that. And again, we felt, this Ghana team, Partey and co. So I think the team need to come back and reshuffle and rebuild and start again afresh. And going about the last Nation Cup, the Super Eagles was one of the teams that had 100% in that last Nation Cup. We won all our games from the group stage, and only to get to the second round, we lost to a North African team in the second round. So that was why when we started this group stage, we had a draw. I was very happy. I said, no, this is good. We don't need to win all our games in the group stage, because what matters most for you is not the group stage, it's what happens for you at the knockout stage. And that's the most important thing that we need to see. Just the same thing as we saw Senegal and Cote d'Ivoire. Senegal had a 100% record coming in from the group stage. And Cote d'Ivoire, you saw them struggling with just 3 points. But when they get there, at the knockout, when it matters most, they were able to live up to expectation and deliver the goods. So for me, I think at this stage or at this point in time, the game is going to be about about how much you want to win the game, about not making mistakes, about giving it your best and seeing what happens from there.
What happened from there? It looks like our guys are not having it feel free in the Ivory Coast. Report reaching us from the Continent's Football Governing Body, CAF, says that CAF has noted escalating, unbecoming and unprofessional behavior of some of the media practitioners in the ongoing African football tournament, which is taking place in Ivory Coast. And CAF has sent strict warning to journalists who are in the organization. CAF has engaged a number of organization representatives, journalists, and raised their serious concerns on the behavior of some of the journalists in the media tribune, media center of the ongoing event. While we understand that we are all football fans and passionate about our national team, journalists are expected to observe professional standards. Fans must not be in the media tribune. There are plenty of seats at the stadium for the journalists, but if you find yourself there, then you must take the following rules. 1, going forward, any media practitioner who is involved in wild celebration and abuse of other media colleagues will be immediately removed by the security, and his or her accreditation will be taken away by the Continent's Football Governing Body. Any media representative who is involved in a fight of media area or physical assault will have his or his media accreditation taken away. All journalists, non-right holder who film in the media tribune will be removed and his or media will be withdrawn. Any media practitioner, it looks like some of the media men in the media tribune are going against the rules of the game, and CAF is talking tough. And I understand the report reaching us. Some of our journalists who visited yesterday are still on the queue and are struggling to get the accreditation, including Pius Idoko, who is supposed to have been giving us a full report. We are looking at the media centers and the relationship and what CAF has just said. Every competition has its rules and regulations. What do you think?
Yes, thank you, Clinton. Clinton, you need to know that in this tournament, this is a Nations Cup. And Nations Cup, it comes with a lot of things. It's beyond club football. This is carrying your country's pride and also trying to have a bragging right as a media person. If you check, you know that the journalists, you are the ones that gives the fans the food we eat, and you are the ones that gives the fans a report. And of course, journalists make every tournament interesting and bright. When you look at the report, you know, journalists are the ones that make a tournament or mar a tournament. They hype the tournament, they make the tournament so good, even for players and for coaches. They know that with journalists around, they know that, in fact, the media talk, every coach, every player dread it. I mean, they know that, look, we know after the game we have the media to face, and of course the media comes up with a lot of questions, try to know how you are doing, and they punch a lot of holes in your thing, both your formation, your tactics, everything you play. It's open. The media wants to see. They want to know why did you play this? What did you do? And of course, so the media, I think, is part of every sport or every football game or competition around the world, and they are as important as the referee, as the fans, as the player. The media is important as everybody in the game. Without the media, I tell you, my brother, the football will not be off show. But again, we need to also know that this is Africa. Okay, in Africa, when coming from Africa, we need to be more professional in what we do. Unlike when you go to Europe, you say a lot of people are more professional. So, but again, I think we are getting there. I mean, with what we are seeing so far, it shows that we Africans, we are getting to that stage. So for the media people, it's bragging that you are from Cameroon and from Nigeria. Or imagine you and me and you, Nigeria beats you 2-0. You won't be happy. You know you are sad. And not everybody can take that. You've seen fans crying in the stadium. You see them crying. I mean, the emotions is what we need to take away as journalists from the game. So if journalists can take away emotions from this game, but it's not easy. It's difficult to do that. So I think as time goes on with this CAF strong warning, I think it's going to make all journalists know that, look, that we are here. We don't need to put emotions into this game. We need to know that we are journalists, and then we are serving the world. We are serving everybody to make this competition, I mean, a brilliant one. So I think with this warning, they will be able to take redress and see how well they will behave themselves there.
And CAF warning is not over. CAF is still saying any journalist who is live streaming in the mixer zone will have his or his accreditation withdrawn. And I like the fifth one, say any journalist the use of drone are strictly prohibited by the Continent's Football Governing Body. talking about the rules and regulation. We are also told that Nigerians community in Ivory Coast are mobilizing in a very good number to cheer the Super Eagles. We must say a very big thank you to the Sport Minister for making that possible and working closely with the Nigerian community in Africa, and they're expected to be in the stadium today to join hands with the Nigerian Supporters Club, who are already in Ivory Coast. It looks like the victory is already in our hands already, Charles.
Yeah, of course. I mean, as a Nigerian, of course, we believe the victories are. In fact, as a Nigerian, I believe the trophy is already coming in Nigeria. That's, of course, that's my wish. That's what I want. But again, let's not take this away. Let's not take this away from these boys, from this national team. This Super Eagles team are able to bring a lot of smiles to Nigerians all over the world. They've done so well. They've played so well. Not just that, they've shown that commitment, that Nigerian spirit that, look, let's do it again. That commitment is what wins. That's the difference between Nation Cup and club football. In Nation Cup, it's not just about how good you play, but how committed are you? How willing are you to give in your 100%? How do you want to give in your best? How willing are you to make sacrifice? I mean, you see tackles these boys go for. You see a player like Kevin Bassey. You see them and Seydou Sunusi throwing himself in the way in the ball, throwing his life into the game to save somebody playing a shot. So these are the things we wanted to see from the Super Eagles. These are the commitment, just like what happened to Cameroon. The Cameroon president, football president Samuel Eto'o, he said from now on they need to take a test on every player who's playing for Cameroon. They need to take a test on the player to know how patriotic this player is before you can play for your national team. And that is the truth. That is what we need to do, and that is what wins the Nation Cup. You need to know how patriotic a player is for you to play for a national team. And that's what Samuel Eto'o came to tell the players, that look, from now upwards we need to tell, because you didn't play in Cameroon, you didn't grow in Cameroon, you didn't know what the patriotism is. So we need to test you to be sure you can. And that's what you need to give in the field. And that's what the Super Eagles players have brought into this game, differently from every other team in this competition. And you can see what they are doing. So for the fans all over the world, everybody wants to watch them. The fans in Angola, they want to be there, because the Eagles, of course, are living up to expectation.
You talked about Cameroon. Let's spend the next 5 minutes or so with Cameroon. Is anyone going to be sacked? Will the coach be sacked, or will the president be sacked? Talking about Fecafoot president Samuel Eto'o and his very good friend Song, who is the coach. Many says the two have not worked well for the success of the Indomitable Lions.
Yes, of course. From the fans of the Cameroon, even at the stadium against Nigeria, they were chanting that Eto'o and Song should go.
One should go, or the two should go?
The two should go. They were saying these two have to leave.
Okay.
Of course, but that's what you expect. I mean, it's only in Nigeria. I'm sorry to say that you play a major tournament like this and you lose and nobody is being held.
Eto'o, as a player, he won the Cup of Nations. Song, as a player, he won the Cup of Nations.
Yes, of course.
That is something that they have not done since they came on board as administrator.
Yes, of course. As I said, of course, as Samuel Eto'o said, he has said that they need to know how patriotic these players are to play for their country. When you see these players playing for their club side, you see them give all they have. But coming to Cameroon is different. We know the Cameroon of before. We know Roger Milla, Samuel Eto'o. We know how much they give into this team, into playing for the national team. We see how much they spend their money. Even someone like Eto'o comes in to play match with his money to see how well. And that is what got him the job of the president of the Cameroon Football Association, him and Song. We saw how well they are. But again, football is beyond that. I think right now they need to go back and start rebuilding. For Cameroon, it was a very, very awful display at this Nation Cup. We saw them in the group stage. They also struggled to come out of the group stage, and then playing against the Nigerian national team, they had all the hope that would come. This is Nigeria. Of course, we can defeat Nigeria, and they didn't have a shot on target.
Let's come back home. This is the situation where penalty comes in. Assuming after 120 minutes, nothing comes. You think Super Eagles can scale penalty? Who will be your first kick if you have the opportunity to select for the coach?
Yes, and thank you. For the coach, for these past few weeks, they've been practicing more of penalty shooter. That's what they've been doing. In fact, the Eagles, these past few weeks, their training has been more on penalties. That's what they do. After every training, they keep kicking. That's what they've been doing, practicing on that. For me, we saw a true icon coming to take a penalty. We had the penalty in this tournament, and we scored the penalties. So for me, I don't have a problem with that. The whole players we have in the team, anybody can come and take the penalties. Ekong is good. Osimhen, we saw him score penalties for his club in Napoli. Even though he has a few or one misses, but he scores goal. We saw Lukman score Chukwu. So they all score. It will be everybody there. For me, apart from Iwobi, he's the only player I think shouldn't come out to play penalty because of his style of play. But every other player, all the defenders are good to score penalties.
Coach Charles, let me have your 1 million naira question. What will be the scoreline, Nigeria, Angola?
Yeah, Nigeria, Angola, 3-0.
3-0 in
Yes,
favor
of Nigeria.
When will the goals be coming? First half, second half, or on penalties?
No penalties in the match game. In the first half, in the first half, we should be 2 goals up.
Okay.
By the second half, we should be 2 or more goals up, about 1 or more goals up from the second half of the game.
So you're saying Nigerians should watch the game without any
No
bottle of water?
This is the easiest game the Super Eagles are going to play in this tournament.
Just word of my guest here, talking about Coach Charles talking tough in favor of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. We're counting less than 20 hours from now. Nigeria will be taking on Angola, and it's expected that the Super Eagles will triumph over Angola to book a ticket for the semi-finals of the ongoing African Cup of Nations. That's how far we can go on today's edition of the program, Talk Sport, right here on Global TV. And then say a very big thank you to Coach Charles, and hope we'll celebrate tomorrow with the Eagles.
We will. Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of the day and have a wonderful superlative weekend celebrations, because the Super Eagles will surely make us proud. I am Clinton saying thank you very much for being part of the program. Talk Sport on Global Television, right here in Nigeria's capital city.
Say your best.